Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm continuing on in my exploration of all the color seasons. So we're nearing the finish line here. I'm in the last of the spring seasons, doing light spring, and then I just have the 3 summers to do. So it's been a fun journey so far. I've learned a lot about color theory, and I'll definitely be doing a wrap-up video at the end, sharing my thoughts, going through all the looks in retrospect. My whole theory is that you can make any color story work for you. It's just about how you use the colors and what effect you want to be creating. Now today, it's light spring. So we're still in the warmth of the spring seasons, but we're moving towards the sister palette of summer. For light spring, the primary aspect is a lightness to the features. So think lower contrast. You're not going to see that super dark hair paired with very fair skin. You're not going to see that super brightness in the eyes that you see in the winters and the bright springs. Light spring is about lightness being first. So when I say lightness, I mean adding white to colors. Rather than black to colors to bring a rich pigment to them, we're adding white. So think pastels. It's leaning towards the warmth more than like cool light tones. These are warm light tones. So if you're a light spring, you can be warm for sure, but you can also be neutral, leaning warm. Warmth isn't the primary feature we're looking at, but anyway, like just think of the beginning of spring and just like opening your window and there's a blue sky, the breeze is coming in, there are linens like fluttering on the clothesline, and then flowers are just starting to peek through. So I had originally been thinking that I was a light spring just based on some looking at my natural coloring, being a blonde with lighter eyes. It's easy to think, that's probably what I fall into, but we'll see what happens when I don't have as much contrast going on with the colors. This is going to be lighter, softer, airy, delicate, and very approachable though too. So that's what's nice about these light seasons if you're new to makeup. Now, let's get started. I'm going to do blush first. I already have foundation on. Nothing new to see here. So I'm going to go in with this shade from Rose Inc. Not everyone. People probably know that I do love this blush formula. There's a few shades I turn to all the time. These might be my desert island blushes. But anyway, this shade, Anemone, is one I bought and don't use too often. I always find I'm wanting some more richness to the colors, but I'm gonna make myself use it today because this is very light spring. It's got that coraliness to it, but it's not too deep, right? So just going in with this, I have foundation on and a little bit of bronzer. So as you can see, like the color payoff right away is something, if you want more color, you want to build it up a little bit. And I like a lot of color. It is very pretty. My blush technique these days has been kind of like halfway between draping the blush across the whole cheek and just a touch of lifting. I mean, that looks really nice, doesn't it? If I want more later, we'll put more on later. I believe Scarlett Johansson is a light spring. Naturally, my coloring always did kind of remind me of hers, but I don't know. Maybe Amanda Seyfried, I think, as well. Okay, let's go in with a highlighter. This is Rare Beauty. This is Exhilarate. So this is the goldy one because we're still playing with those warm tones. Ignore the fact that it's broken. Rare Beauty, these highlighters are always going to be my favorite. Definitely busting out some favorites here. I feel like this looks very fresh, very springy on its own. Yeah, really nice. I'm wearing, this is white, but it is just a little bit on the cream side. It's not too stark white, although it may look like that. So I think this is a good top to wear as a light spring. I did realize why I like to wear black all the time. And I think I could start getting some more whites and creams into my wardrobe for the same reason. But I like it because I swear every makeup look looks good with black, including something light and airy, in my opinion. It's just such a neutral, and I realize that's why I have so much black, so I can wear whatever makeup I want. Anyway, I thought this would be a fun season to play with some lavender. So I think lavender is such a quintessential like light spring color. So I'm gonna use from the She's in Parties palette, this one shade here. That's what I'm gonna start with. Total Immortal. It's like a very pale lavender. So start with that, and I'm thinking of adding a shimmer to it. We'll see, from the ColourPop Fade into Hue palette. This palette is basically like made for springs of all kinds. We just have like such a rainbow of, you know, warm and vibrant colors. So maybe something from up here. This shimmer looks really pretty. It looks like it has some pink. I'm gonna start by laying down a white base. So I have this little single from Makeup Forever. It's great to bring along with any eyeshadow palette that doesn't have like a brightening shade for fair complexions. So as you can see, I've used it a lot. Using this brush, I've come to really love from the Spectrum Malachite collection. It's just great for putting everything all over the lid. It has some density balanced with some fluffiness. So this is just helping set what concealer I had. I'm just prepping the eyes. It's very subtle. I'm gonna start at the center of the lid. Just start a soft wash of color. The spring looks, like I said, they're really approachable because there's not necessarily too much blending and like depth happening. You're really just sticking with these almost watercolor-esque shades. I think I'm going almost up to the brow bone even. It's soft, it's pretty, it's easy, it's color without being overwhelmed by color. Taking a fluffy brush just to, you know, get rid of any harsh lines, blur those edges. Before I go any further, I'm gonna do a little bit of brightening at this bottom corner of my eye. Since we're not really using dark shadows to shape out the eye, I'm just gonna use a white pencil. Bring a little bit of lift, starting at the outer corner. Just lifting up a little bit. I am gonna blend this. Might as well put a touch of it to brighten the inner corner up more. And then since it's a liner, taking a denser brush to help to blend it out. A fluffy brush, you're gonna have to work way harder. And I gotta say, I am starting to notice my eyelid skin. I don't know if I'm just noticing it by chance or if there's actually a change happening, but like it's starting to tug. It's starting to look a little less firm and bouncy and a little more like something I have to be slightly mindful of. So anyway, we don't want to be rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. While I have this liner in front of me, I saw a really cool trick from, her handle's Rosen Ben. But anyway, rather than putting the white liner for brightening like all in your waterline, you kind of do it at the edge, skip where your iris is, and then do it a little here. So it doesn't create this huge harsh line, it just kind of creates brightness mirroring where the whites of your eyes are on either side of your iris. And I thought that was brilliant. So I'm gonna do that. So like here, stop, here, It's subtle. It would also be really cool. I saw Walker Ash. She recently then used her eye color and put a waterline in the put a color in the center to like bring the color continuing. I don't have a liner for that, but that would also be really cool to add to this, just like a greeny blue right there. So here, skip, and here. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a shimmer now, just to add a little something more to the look, and this shade here from the ColourPop. It's called Express. Just gonna use my finger. It's very powdery, so I'm gonna kind of knock it off my finger a little bit beforehand. And then put that over a large majority of the eye. Very subtle. It's almost like a white-based multi-chrome a little bit, but a bit less sophisticated than like a Divina shadow. So I think this just brings an extra bit of liveliness to the purple. I think I'm gonna add just a touch more of another purple, which is this one here, Selfie. This looks like a touch more vivid than the first one. I'm gonna add that kind of into the crease just a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna put lashes on, some mascara, probably a touch of side lashes because we don't have any like depth happening. I just want to add that little bit of lengthening towards the outside of the eye. So I'm gonna pop off camera to do that. We'll finish it off with some lips. Okay, here we are. It's really pretty, really soft, and yeah, just a really nice way to play with color when you do it really lightly. It's very approachable. And I feel like it's bringing out some of the teal, greeny blue of my eye in person, which is nice. So now lips. I am thinking sort of light and corally. First thing, I'm going to go in with this new liner, to me, the shade anyway, which is Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. I got another shade too. I forget the name, but as you know, Endless Cacao is well known, well loved to me. And I gotta say, I am so over plastic lip liners. Like, check this out. I have had this Endless Cacao for like 4 years. No kidding. Like, and I use it so often. And yet I've had other lip liners like the Rare Beauty one, which I love the color, but I've had to repurchase it. I think I'm on my third in like 2 years or not even. So anyway, just shouting out to the classic wooden liners. You cannot go wrong. I don't know why people use plastic anyway. Okay, so lining. I think this is a nice shade for the springs because it's got that touch of depth you want from a liner, but it's kind of in that orangey brown. Debating between two shades here. I have Makeup by Mario, Sierra. This is like, you know, a peachy nude. Like I said in my last video, it's just not a nude lipstick gal. But it does have a bit of orange to it, which is nice. And then from Florasis, I have this liquid lip. It's just a touch darker, kind of like an apricot shade, which honestly is probably more my jam. I think both would work. Let's use the one I think I like more. So this is from Florasis. It's like a kind of like a liquid lip, but like souffle-y, like the Rare Beauty lip souffles. It's like a really great match for the liner. Here's the finished look. It's really pretty, really fresh, and I guess when you think of light spring, you can think of more like Easter colors a little bit. Is a good reference point. Just like those nice pastels. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks really nice on me. Nothing's really standing out. It's just kind of like this wash of color. It works. Doesn't not work. It doesn't look like off. But yeah, in general, like I do like to opt for something with more depth and more pigment. However, some days you just want to wear something that's really soft and really quick and easy to apply and put a look together. So let me know your thoughts down below on the look I did today, and also this light spring season, I guess. Any of you out there in this season, are there colors you find you just really cannot wear? Do you have to always stick with the pastels and these really light shades? Let me know. It's a beautiful palette to reference. It definitely conjures a certain energy, and that is one that's just light, airy. I'm here for it today. It's February, end of February in Toronto, but it's getting warm quick. It's a bit alarming, but it feels like spring out there. So I match the mood, I match the outside, and yeah, that's it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay witchy, stay bitchy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.